Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions and prospects are coming up in the Single Market Program.
Hello, my name is Pavel Koktashev and you're watching Single Market. When investors mark their points of interest on the global economic map, they take into consideration all the pros and cons. At the same time, every country offers its own bargaining chips, which highlight the advantages of their investment policies. Our correspondent brings us the report on Kazakhstan's investment climate in 2017. Any system which is made up of a multitude of connected branches requires movement and development. Otherwise, it will lose its ability to function and will no longer be competitive. This concerns any social sphere, including the economy. An economic system gets the possibility to do that thanks to investments. For countries undergoing a stage of transition, this role is played not just by domestic, but also foreign capital. However, this resource, just like any other, is tied to a competitive environment.
That greater competition for investment had already begun. Now it's going to accelerate, it's going to intensify, but it's going to take time for many countries to recognize what has already begun and act on it. I think Kazakhstan is an exception. President Nazarbayev not recently talked about the need to be more competitive in this new reality.
Big foreign investors represented by international financial institutions praised Kazakhstan's striving to look beyond the horizon of the new era. According to them, this speaks of the country's determination to adapt to the changing environment as soon as possible and enter a stage of sustainable economic growth. For example, the Eurasian Bank of Reconstruction and Development, even during the world's economic crisis period, continued to increase the level of its investments into Kazakhstan. In 2016, this financial institution invested a record amount of €900 million into the country's economy.
Kazakhstan has already understood that the growth of the future is green growth, that growth based on fossil fuels is a dead end. It doesn't take you anywhere. And in order to lay the foundations for an economic system which can continue to deliver growth for future generations, you need to lay foundations for the green economy.
In the 2017 presidential address, the new era is marked as a departing point for the search for new solutions. The country's government has been given a concrete task of developing a step-by-step action program. The key terms of the address are digital Kazakhstan, logistics infrastructure, agro-industrial complex, the driver, and global competitiveness. According to experts, each of these goals, including competitiveness, are completely attainable.
As one CEO put it at our CERAWeek conference this past April in Houston, companies are no longer chasing barrels, they're chasing efficiency. And that means that they will be much more selective in their investment decisions.
With this approach, both parties, investors and the state, are setting certain requirements for each other. Foreign companies are expecting Kazakhstan to optimize the conditions for business activities in the sphere of mineral extraction, and the state, in turn, is counting on the use of the latest technologies in projects on exploration, extraction and processing of raw materials, as well as construction of the sector's infrastructure. By the way, Kazakhstan has already started working in this direction. Last year, the company Tenaris was named among the top 10 foreign investors, a company that specialized in the production of seamless steel pipes for the oil sector.
This is an important country in the oil and gas business. The very important developments and very important operators. Investment, even if it's not so big, but we are bringing a very top technology that is, let's say, top of the art in the world.
Sectors which today require investments and transfer of technologies also include metallurgy, machine building, production of construction materials, and food products. At some point in time, they were included into the list of priorities for Kazakhstan's economy and have not lost their relevance because they fit the format of the processing industry.
But in order to create a truly diversified economy and also to build a solid base, manufacturing is the crucial first step because, of course, manufacturing leads to other things, more services, more value add.
The way this effect is created can be seen in the example of the machine building sector, which was the first of the non-oil and gas sectors to attract investments of transnational companies such as General Electric, Alstom, Airbus, Hyundai and Avtovaz. Thanks to their support, Kazakhstan launched the production of new products. We now have new high-tech enterprises, new products. To be honest, there is now a completely new sector in Kazakhstan. Today we manufacture cars, train wagons for passengers and cargo, locomotives and electric locomotives. Projects that are based on the use of digital technologies hold a special place on the list of investment priorities. Within the framework of the new format of Kazakhstan's economy, this sphere has been given a strategic role. Sectors which are considered to hold the highest prospects for the attraction of investments and new technologies have already been determined. The key growth vectors selected. Every year the conditions for investors are becoming more favorable. One of the awaited novel introductions is the reorganization of the national agency, Kazakh Invest, into a national company, Kazakh Invest. The country's prime minister will head the company's board of directors. This demonstrates the great responsibilities that will be placed on the new entity. Investors will have an opportunity to directly communicate with the relevant ministries. The more arguments there are in favor of investing into Kazakhstan, the less doubts foreign companies and financial institutions have regarding the attraction of their capital into the economy of our country. Therefore, we can conclude that the path to the heart of an investor lies through the constant improvement of conditions for business activities. This is precisely the approach which is dictating the state of the country's investment climate today. Non-ferrous metals are in second place in terms of export volumes after hydrocarbons in Kazakhstan's economy. That is why metallurgy is rightfully considered to be one of the industrial priorities of the country. It is clear that today the country is focusing on the development of metallurgy from the perspective of making production more efficient. Our correspondent Oleg Boldarev found out how, by using the foundation of an old ore mining and processing plant, it is possible to implement new operation principles. Kazakhstan is among the top 10 largest world producers of manganese. At the same time, 100% of the country's manganese deposits are concentrated in one region, the Karaganda region. Today, on this territory, which is rich in mineral resources, a number of large ore mining and processing enterprises are operating, including the Zhairem ore mining and processing plant. This enterprise was built back in the mid-70s of the 20th century, and over a long period of time, the plant changed its production focus a number of times. During the first stage, barite polymetallic ores were extracted and processed here. During the second stage, iron manganese ores. And the third stage commenced in 2014, when the Zhairem plant became part of the corporation Kazakhstan, and this move was motivated by the demands for raw materials. It is necessary to develop the polymetal base for Kazakhstan because in eastern Kazakhstan there is a depletion of reserves and substitutions need to be found. One of them is the Zhairem ore mining and processing plant. As a result of this acquisition, the corporation's mineral resource base now has 3 new deposit fields, each of which has its own production profile. Zhairem, polymetals, Ushkatan 3, barite lead, and Zhamar, iron manganese ores. And Kazakhstan's production portfolio also gained 2 new enrichment plants. One of these plants manufactures a manganese concentrate, which is a leading export product. It enjoys demand from the metallurgy plants of Russia and China. Another special feature of the enterprise is its extensive production portfolio. Alongside ballast rock is manufactured. This is ballast of 520 and 2560 grade. The 520 grade is mostly used for the construction of concrete structures. This is for Astana and other regions of Kazakhstan. And the 2560 grade is used for the construction of railway lines. For example, this ballast stone was used in the construction of the railway line Zheskazgan-Beineo, which is of strategic importance for the development of the country's transit potential. And overall, the expansion of the sector's capacities has a positive effect on the development of the enterprise. In 2015, because we redirected the focus of one of the manganese plants towards the production of polymetal ores, we now manufacture lead pre-concentrate, which is then delivered to other plant complexes of Kazakhstan. The modernization of the manganese plant is just the beginning of the wide-scale reconstruction of the Zhairem plant. Over the period of 5 years, there are plans to build here a new ore enrichment plant, which will specialize in the production of lead pre-concentrate. This resource will be sent to the Oskimen metallurgy complex, which will use the pre-concentrate to manufacture high-purity lead, a product that will be export-oriented. The realization of this project will allow the enterprise to increase its export volumes through the implementation of innovations and development of competitive national production. In addition, thanks to the expansion of explored sites, the exploitation period of the Zhairem deposit field will be longer. Oleg Boldarev, Bahirjan Bahriev, exclusively for Single Market. While thinking about the future, we are already dreaming of changes that will transform our lives for the better. And we are not the only ones. By motivating countries towards change, experts compile ratings of which countries are considered to be the most advanced innovation-wise. The Bloomberg agency has published its yet another innovation index rating. Alexander Galiev brings us the details. And so we start off with the criteria according to which the Bloomberg agency compiles its annual innovation index report. The agency looks at indicators such as spending on research and development as a percentage of GDP, labor productivity, the number of companies operating in the high technology sector, the level of development of the service sector, number of researchers, and number of patents. This year, the following countries with the most innovative economies made it to the list of top 10. South Korea is in first place, followed by Sweden, Germany, Switzerland, Finland, Singapore, Japan, Denmark, and the US. Israel closes off the list of the leading countries. The main surprising result of Bloomberg's rating is Russia's rapid decline in the innovation index. The country was downgraded from the 12th place to the 26th, losing 14 positions. The representatives of the Ministry of Economic Development of the Russian Federation had their own assessment regarding this. The essence of it is the following. For the evaluation of the real level of innovation in the economic sphere, it would be wise to use indicators which are more objective in reflecting the structural changes in the economic sectors and the growth rates of prospective markets. In addition, data from 2015 was used in this rating. And as it is known, this year was the most turbulent for Russia in the last couple of years. Aside from Russia, from the post-Soviet states that made it to the list of top 50, we have Lithuania in 32nd position, Estonia 33rd, Latvia 39th, Ukraine 42nd, and Kazakhstan 48th. By the way, Kazakhstan improved its position by 2 points. Last year was the first time that the country made it to the Bloomberg rating in 50th position. In 2018, Kazakhstan has a good chance of rising above its 48th position. For Bloomberg's experts, the country's efforts towards accelerated technological upgrading of the economy, particularly the creation of new digital technology-based perspective sectors, serve as a convincing argument. President Nursultan Nazarbayev recently highlighted this vector of development in his new address, Kazakhstan's third modernization, global competitiveness. And instead of a summary, a rating is not just anonymized tables and graphs. This is an important instrument of competition among countries for investments and the brightest minds. And what could be more valuable today? That's all from me. My name is Alexander Galiev. Until next time on Single Market. How to find one's place under the sun on the export market? I'm sure that there's no one foolproof method. In either case, it will entail one's own local-based experience. But one thing is certain, success follows those who at the right time and at the right place make their unique business offer. Margarita Chudakova discovered how business, springtime and the period of renewal all come together in one bouquet of flowers. Although according to the calendar, spring has officially started, behind our windows, winter still reigns. These are the climate peculiarities of the Pavlodar region. But in my hands, I'm already holding a symbol of the summer, these wonderful roses. By the way, the name of this variety of roses is Red Naomi, or Red Beauty. For already more than 10 years, this variety of roses has held a garland of victory among red roses that were grown in the special soils of the Netherlands. These roses are often compared with one of the world's top models. Red Naomi roses are as majestic as the US supermodel Naomi Campbell. They have a vibrant color, soft velvety surface of its petals, and an exquisite sensual aroma. And this is the only industrial variety of a red rose which emits an aroma.
When it starts opening, it's really opening. When you look now in the greenhouse, they look a little bit smaller, but when we cut them, they're a little bit bigger. And when they're standing on the vase, they're totally opening, which make this rose really, I think, the best-selling rose in the world even.
Marty Peterson came from the Netherlands. Back home, he has his own rose cultivation business. He has taken part in the establishment of a large industrial greenhouse in Armenia. Then Marty received an invitation from the distant Kazakhstan.
You really need experience to have in another climate to grow roses. So you have to see what is the climate, how to deal with it, how to arrange all the technical parts in the greenhouse to have the right climate. So that's why they asked me to come over here, and that's why I came here, yes. And it's a new country, a country which is developing, so yes, for me interesting to help here.
And the young entrepreneur Aitmagambet Sarsenbekulu from the city of Ekibastus of the Pavlodar region, in turn, was interested in learning from the experience of the Dutch flower growers, which are considered to be the best specialists in the world. He approached this project with due diligence, by studying all the minute details of this endeavor in the Netherlands and at the same time analyzed the prospects of the market for his future business. As a result, he came up with a compelling business plan for which he secured a loan. $3.2 billion tenge were invested in the realization of the project. The greenhouse complex, Greenhouse KZ, was built by the Dutch company Van der Hoeven, and its technological developments were used in this project plan.
Плюс туманообразование есть, досветка у нас очень сильная, очень мощная, очень.
We have the fogging technology. Additional lighting is very powerful and very useful for the flowers. There is a system of screening, which during the day period when there is no light, preserves the warmth in the greenhouse. I can mention the glass, which has a throughput capacity of 6%. This is the best type of diffusing glass.
Пропускающая мощность 86%. Это лучшее рассеивающее стекло.
Biodefense mechanisms are used for tackling the problem of harmful insects, and tomophagy, or useful eating insects, are used for this purpose. One seedbed has up to 1,000 of these helpers. If they show good results, then we'll start working on the issue of replanting them according to the colors. There are different varieties: the white varieties, the White Naomi and the Avalanche, and the pink varieties, Wish and Anna Karenina. A rose is a flower that demands special attention at all the stages of the cultivation process. For example, when the buds start appearing, it is important not to miss the moment of when to clip the flower.
We have a bud like this. This will be cut today afternoon. And when there are still some smaller, it will be tomorrow. Like buds like this will be tomorrow for sure. This will be tomorrow for sure. And the ones who are a little bit more open, yes, that will be cut afternoon.
After the roses are clipped, they are transferred to a cool storage. They will be kept there for 24 hours under the temperature of +3 degrees Celsius. After that, the most important moment comes, because with one careless move, it is possible to not just ruin the beauty of the flower, but also undo the work of many people. Roses are very fragile. We try hard not to break them and of course sort them fast. Daily we clip 25, 28 or 30,000 roses. And at the same time, during the day, all of them need to be sorted, packaged and shipped for sale. The greenhouse complex in Ekibastus has been operating for a little over a year. But these roses have already gained popularity not just in the Pavlodar region. Approximately 40% of them are delivered to other cities of Kazakhstan: Astana, Almaty, Karaganda and Öskümen. A large share of the flowers, around 60%, are destined for the Russian market. The roses from Ekibastus enjoy demand in Siberia, Central Russia and in Moscow. To Pavlodar and the nearby regions we ship in boxes, in dry form. To Moscow and more distant regions we ship in containers with water, for the flowers to have constant replenishment, because they would not survive such a long distance travel. In order to fill one truck, for example to Moscow, where the largest shipments are sent, it is necessary to pack from 30 to 40,000 flowers, sometimes a couple of trucks per week journey off to the Russian capital. Geographically, this greenhouse is the closest one to Western Siberia, where roses are industrially cultivated. That is why it has an advantage before other greenhouse enterprises of Kazakhstan and Russia. This is precisely the aspect connected with logistics and which affects the cost of the exported products that the flower growers of Ekibastos are ready to take advantage of. Margarita Chudakova, Sergei Zinchenko, Pavlodar region, exclusively for Single Market. That's all for today. My name is Paul Koktashev. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our program are available on www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time on Single Market.